What's going on? What's up? And welcome to the Belly Blast Blueprint Masterclass. I'm so excited to present you with this. And let me just start off by telling you before I dive in that I did this exact signature masterclass 6 months ago. And the feedback that I got from the women that attended was so incredible that it was a given for me that I would do this again. A lot of the women that attended the last masterclass came back to me weeks and months later and said, Coach Anna, what you taught us inside of that masterclass really impacted our weight loss journeys. And a lot of those ladies ended up losing more weight and getting better results just from applying the principles that I taught them inside of this masterclass. So having that said, I'm really setting the tone here for you. You should be incredibly excited about this information that is to come. It's really going to make a big difference in your journey in your life. Take notes, be present, and absorb and soak it all in. So I'm Anna J. Fit, known as Coach Anna, and I'm incredibly grateful and excited that you are here, that you are watching this today. And I'm so passionate about helping women transform their bodies, shed stubborn belly fat, and feel their absolute best. That is what I'm all about. So if you are ready to zip up your favorite pair of jeans without sucking in your belly, you know what I'm talking about, right? Then get excited because this is going to be a game changer. If you are ready to enjoy your next vacation, like how many of you watching this are like, oh my God, I have a vacation scheduled in a couple weeks, in a couple months. It's time to take action, right? You're tired of feeling embarrassed about your belly in a swimsuit. You just no longer want to feel that way. I got you here. This is exactly for you. If you are ready to, I hear this all the time, but become an Energizer Bunny mom who comes home after a long day of work and still got energy to play soccer with her kids instead of crashing on the couch, girl, that's about to be you. This is a 60-minute masterclass, and we're going to be diving into the exact steps that you need to shed and blast that stubborn belly fat, to reclaim your confidence so you can start glowing again and get your energy back on track, right? And get into ultimately the body of your dreams, and for good, I should specify here. I remember the day that I looked in the mirror and broke down in tears like I had never broken down before. I was absolutely devastated. I just had my baby, Denise. And instead of feeling overjoyed, instead of, like really soaking up that moment of being a new mom and this blessing, this bundle of joy, instead of feeling that way, I felt absolutely disgusted and I couldn't even stand to see my own reflection in the mirror. Maybe you can relate to this, right? I think a lot of us have felt like this at some point on our journeys. And for me, it got so bad that I even started to cover up my mirrors with towels and sheets just to avoid seeing my own reflection in the mirror and those rolls. And when I look back, I think about the best analogy I can think about is, you know what a crescent roll, a can of crescent roll looks like when you literally like first open it up, those blue cans. And it's like, whoop, the dough is just hanging out. That was exactly the visual. That's all I could see and all I could think of every single time I was looking at my body. And I'll be honest with you, like it got so bad for me that I stopped leaving my house because I was so embarrassed to walk into rooms, to the idea of being seen. I couldn't handle the judgment. I couldn't handle the judgment. And let me be transparent, but this was truly the most painful part of my journey because I went from being a social butterfly. I always loved being around people, going places, doing things, and I always was a very confident person. To all of a sudden, I had no confidence left. I was hiding behind closed doors. I wasn't social anymore, and I stopped going anywhere and doing anything because I was so ashamed. And to make matters so much worse, around that same time, I got slapped with a high blood pressure diagnosis. And that absolutely terrified me because here I am, a brand new mom, and now I'm having to think about, well, what's going to happen to my daughter if my health starts to decline? What's going to happen to her if I'm not around because my health is poor and I didn't take control when I needed to? Listen, in that moment right there, I made a decision. That was a turning point. I was no longer going to put myself last and And instead, I was finally going to prioritize myself and invest in my health. That was the commitment I made then. So what happened then was, well, I tried every single diet you can imagine. I even remember vividly going to bed hungry at night, like starving, stomach growling. I was convincing myself that, well, eating less would somehow fast track me to my dream body. That was my mentality, my mindset. And maybe you recognize that on your own journey. I think a lot of us have thought that, right? I even tried to cut out all the carbs, Atkins, whatever, only to end up walking around feeling even more miserable, more deprived, more frustrated. I tried the military diet, the slim fast shakes as meal replacements, awful. The smoothie diets, and even fat burning pills that hurt my stomach. And I even did the appetite suppressing gummies. I remember they were so nasty. And they were making my heart race like crazy. And I already had anxiety issues. So that made it so much worse. And then I paired all of these approaches with an endless amount of cardio. I was literally abusing my body. Anyone else here watching this today ever been that classic textbook definition cardio queen? That's what I call it, like a cardio queen. That's who I was. And you know what happened? I'd lose 5 pounds, maybe 10, and then I'd turn around and I'd gain 15 back. I'd lose 15 pounds, gain 20 something back. And it was a vicious cycle, a repetitive vicious cycle, like I was a hamster trapped on a hamster wheel. And slowly, I began to realize that the entire approach, the entire way that I was going about my weight loss journey was making my mental health decline, my depression, my anxiety. It was making it worse. And that right there, ladies, was a powerful aha moment for me, because it made me realize that I needed an approach that would honor me, like all of me, from head to toe me, right? Not one that would continuously feel like self-inflicted punishment or was cookie cutter and boxed me in, but something that would honor me and that would address and balance out my mindset, my nutrition, and my fitness in like a well-rounded way. And the biggest lesson here is that no matter what, I couldn't hate myself into the body of my dreams. No matter what I did, no matter how hard I tried, I couldn't hate myself into the body of my dreams. And I really want you to write this down because it's so powerful. No matter what you do, you cannot hate yourself into the body of your dreams. It just does not work, right? And let me show you. Let me go back to my screen here. Let me show you my before and after picture right here. And if I was going to lose the belly, drop the weight, and get my health back on track, I had to start by addressing my internal dialogue. And this is literally how, ladies, my triple shift system came about. The same system that now thousands of women have been using for the last decade to lose at least 25 pounds or more, to get rid of their stubborn belly fat, to reclaim their confidence, to take back control over their health and improve their energy levels in just 90 days. Literally, just 90 days. That's all it takes here, right? So I just want to commend you for being here today and watching this and making the commitment to be here and watch this. Because if you've tried it all and the belly just will not go down, I just want you to know that you are in the right place and you are in good hands, because we're going to fix that today. If you just have gotten to the point where you realize that you know you got to do something different now, because no time to be experimenting and playing around anymore, and no time for games, because your doctor is threatening to put you on more medications or increase your dosage. But you're like, I have to do something different, but I'm not really sure what. This is the place for you to be. If you are absolutely fed up with the belly and you know deep down that you deserve to feel comfortable in your skin, listen, honey, you are in the right place. And if you're concerned about the longevity of your health, the same way that I was, when I first had my daughter, and you believe that your kids deserve to have the best version of you, a hands-on mom, just know that I got your back. So today I'm going to be dropping some serious fire, and you're going to get massive amounts of nuggets. Get ready to learn the exact strategy that will melt that belly fat off of you and will have you falling in love with your body again and give you crazy energy to crush each and every single one of your days. Is that exciting? That is exciting, right? All right, let me go back to the slide. So today I'm going to be introducing you to my triple shift system, also known as the TSS. It's made up of 3 key pillars. And the first key pillar inside of the triple shift system is the nutrition pillar. And inside of this masterclass and this training, you're going to learn that #1 nutrition hack that helps you lose weight and shed the belly without having you walking around feeling deprived, restricted, frustrated. Okay. And then pillar #2, here we're going to cover the fitness strategy that is going to fit your busy, chaotic schedule, and at the same time is going to allow you to maximize your fat burning capacity. Like, isn't that amazing? And then pillar #3, we're going to talk about the mindset shift that stops self-sabotage and keeps you motivated for the long-term success, longevity here, okay? And what I want you to understand here today is that the mindset piece, as you see, it's the largest piece of the pie. It's literally the anchor. It anchors the entire journey. And the mindset is what ties it all together and drives your weight loss journey. So understand that when you have harmony and cohesiveness within all 3 of these pillars, like inside of the triple shift system, that is where you get a true transformation. But even better, you get a true transformation that is sustainable and lasts a lifetime. That's the key. And this 3-pillar system is what makes the triple shift system so unique, because we are incorporating all 3 of them cohesively. Okay? All right. I hope that makes sense. That should be quite enlightening. Let me just drop a couple of reminders here. But before I dive into pillar #1, I just want to reiterate that for you to get the most out of this training in this masterclass, make sure that you're actually watching this and being present in the moment. Okay? So making sure that you are distraction free, that your phone is on do not disturb or whatever, right? Not multitasking, because if you're multitasking and not taking notes and not taking in this information, I promise you're going to be missing out on some valuable stuff. Okay? If you have any follow-up questions, if there's anything that comes up for you, never hesitate to reach out to me, whether on Instagram, on Facebook, or just by replying to one of my emails with whatever question you have about what I've covered inside of this training. And I'll be more than happy to answer that question with you one-on-one. Okay. But just know that here, I'm going to be taking you on an incredible journey, and you're going to be gaining so much value. You're going to acquire tools to crush your body goals, but specifically nutrition, fitness, mindset wise. You're going to absolutely love this information because I'm going to be pouring so much into you. I mean, this comes from over a decade of work, right? Over a decade of empowering and helping women on their journey. So I'm excited about this, but it's going to be good. And I also know that some of you at the end of this training, you're going to be like, okay, this is amazing, but I want more. Like, I want more support. I want more coaching. I want more one-on-one accountability, or whatever that looks like for you. And I just want to let you know that I got your back, and I promise that before I wrap up this training at the very end, I will show you exactly what that would look like specifically for you if you happen to be looking for coaching and you want something more. Okay. All right, ladies. So on that note, we're going to dive into the first pillar, and let's see if you've been paying attention. But what is the first pillar of the triple shift system? Let's go to it. I hope you had the right answer, by the way. All right, so let's dive into pillar #1, which is the nutrition pillar of the triple shift system. Okay. And you're probably thinking, because every woman basically thinks this on the weight loss journey, as soon as we say food, nutrition, diet, or anything like that, it's like, oh boy, another diet. What is this coach about to tell me I need to cut out and restrict and limit and eliminate, right? And what I want you to know here is that that is not my approach. This is going to be radically different because it's not about cutting anything out. It's not about depriving yourself. It's not about restricting. What I'm going to teach you here in pillar number 1 is going to change the game because it is the complete opposite of what most women think they need to be doing. That reminds me of the time where I set a great financial goal for myself. And I was all about taking back control over my finances. And I said, you know what? I'm going to hit the savings goal and it's going to be amazing. And I made a plan. I made a plan to manifest that savings goal and work towards that. And my plan was really strict and really restrictive, right? And I was like, whatever, I'm going to have to cut out anything that I'm deeming unnecessary. And at first I felt empowered. I felt like it was a great idea. I'm like, oh, look at me. I'm taking back and I'm taking control and I'm like really doing things and whatever, right? You know how you first feel when you start working towards a goal and an endeavor. But after a while though, I started to feel like I was missing out on life. I started to feel miserable. Like, oh no, I can't come to the restaurant. I can't go to the movies with y'all. I can't take that trip, that girl's trip. No, sorry, I can't do this. Oh, I can't buy new shoes. Even though I work out every single day. Like, and I started to kind of feel like a prisoner of this plan of mine that I had put into place to reach the savings goal, right? But I kept pushing, I kept pushing, I kept pushing, despite me starting to want to quit. And I kept telling myself, make the sacrifice, make the sacrifice. The sacrifice, it'll be worth it. It'll pay off in the end. Okay, you know what? I did this for 4 months of pure torture, like literally pure torture, penny pinching, can't spend nothing on nothing, right? And one day I was going through some stuff and I said, you know what? I'm going to go to the mall and I'm going to decompress, you know, some stress relief. And I'm just going to go in there and I'm just going to browse. And before I knew it, the browsing turned into what? A very expensive shopping spree where I spent every single dime that I had saved during that 4-month period. Okay? Just imagine that. And then I went home after the shopping spree. And to make it worse, I pulled out a credit card that I had no business utilizing. I went online, I booked an expensive trip and maxed out my credit card. So let's think about this for a second. For 4 months, I played the restrictive deprivation game with my money. And it didn't feel good. It was miserable. I was missing out on everything, right? But I was determined. So I did it for 4 months, even though it didn't feel good. And then what did I do? I blew all my savings and I made it worse and set myself back even more because I maxed out a credit card. Oh, what does that remind you of? What does that remind you of? Ding, 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 ding. There should be a light bulb moment here. When we restrict ourselves too much, the moral of the story is it never lasts, right? We can push through deprivation, we can push through restrictions for a while, but it's only a matter of time until we're going to fall off, no matter who you are. And it says nothing about your character or that you're flawed. You're just human. And what happens then is not only do we fall off, but we fall off and end up in a worse predicament than when we first started. Like, how many of you can relate to this as you're listening to me right now and you're like, oh my God, that sounds exactly like when I did keto last year and it was horrendous, but I dropped a lot of weight, but then I fell off and I sniffed a loaf of bread and it was over after that. And then I gained 50 pounds back. It's a typical story, right? How many of you can relate to that? That's exactly why inside the triple shift system, we do not promote dieting. Instead, the approach is very different. But what we look at here instead is, for each client and each woman that I work with, what is missing? What is missing in your diet? And how can we fill those cracks and gaps intentionally, strategically? And I want to share with you one really powerful way that you can start doing this in your own diet and your own lifestyle every single day, and it'll make a difference. It'll make a big difference. Okay. So let's go into that one hack. So I just told you that instead of taking things away from my clients' diet and nutritional choices every single day, we don't focus on deprivation or restriction. Instead, we flip the script and we say, hey, I noticed that based on your food logs for the last consecutive 7 days, that you do not eat enough calories. So we add calories where we see cracks and gaps, and we do it strategically and intentionally. Maybe we find out, which is extremely common for most women, that the fiber intake is too low. So let me give you some examples of how you can very easily and in simple ways add fiber into your diet, and that tweak and that change in itself can have tremendous impacts on the results that you start to see and you start to get moving forward on your journey. So great example here is for breakfast. If you already eat eggs and bacon or sausage, grits, or something like that, continue eating that for breakfast. However, how can you add more fiber to that breakfast? And a great way to do this is you simply add a high fiber wrap. It's just that simple. Eat the eggs with the cheese and whatever you do, but add the high fiber wrap and make it like a breakfast burrito or something like that. Now you've added, depending on the brand that you choose, 10 to 15 grams of fiber just like that. It's incredible. For lunch, a great idea is if you already eat tuna salad, if you eat a Caesar salad, Cobb salad, a tuna sandwich, turkey sandwich, wraps, whatever. Even if you eat a turkey burger, add half of an avocado to any of those options. And now you're getting anywhere from, again, 10 to 15 additional grams of fiber just like that for your lunch. Insane, right? And for dinner, my preferred and my favorite go-to is sweet potatoes. So easily adding sweet potatoes, whether they're sweet potato fries, mashed sweet potatoes, roasted, in a microwave, boiled, baked, you name it. But just adding sweet potatoes to your dinners in itself is going to help you with the fiber intake. So that seems very simple, but let me tell you, it's a powerful, powerful shift and tweak. Like I told you at the beginning of this, a lot of the women that were on this masterclass last year, they came back and said, oh my gosh, I've been intentionally adding fiber to all of my meals from the options that you gave in your masterclass. And just that started to get the ball rolling in the right direction. I started to feel better and have less gut issues. And I started to see the scale go down, right? And less bloating and starting to lose that stubborn belly fat. So it's a game changer. In pillar number 2, let's dive into pillar number 2 now, the fitness one. And I want you to write this down. I want you to write this down in your notebook. But too much of a good thing can sometimes cause more harm than good. Write it down. Write it down. I got to take a sip of water. But write that down. It's very powerful. And you're really going to understand why I'm talking about this specifically in the context of fitness, pillar number 2. Too much of a good thing can sometimes cause more harm than good. And let me give you a quick example of this. I got a beautiful pink plant. Y'all know I love pink. Pink's my favorite color. I got a beautiful pink plant for my birthday last year. And because I had good intentions, I really wanted to keep this plant for as long as possible, okay? I was watering it and watering it and watering it. What I didn't realize was that I was overwatering my plant. And because I overwatered my plant consistently, guess what happens? The plant died. So all of a sudden it started to be like yellow, brownish. The leaves started to fall out. And I was like, oh man, I really don't have a green thumb at all. But that principle right there that I just mentioned, too much of a good thing can sometimes cause more harm than good. That's a great example. Because I had good intentions. I wanted my plant to grow and live and thrive. And because I know water is good for a plant, I gave it a lot of water. But I gave it too much water. And what happened instead was an outcome that was not the desired outcome. The same principle applies to you right now on your weight loss journey. Yes, I'm pointing my finger at you. Excuse me. This is my client, Shernay, who's now down 134 pounds. Oh my goodness. I got chills just saying that. Before she started working with me, before she got inside the Body Body Project, she was a complete cardio queen. Remember when I talked about my story at the beginning of how I was the classic textbook cardio queen? Same here. She started off doing 5 days of cardio, intense cardio every single week. And when she didn't lose the belly and the scale wasn't going down, she got really frustrated and started to question what the hell is going on here. And so she thought, like what most women think, that means I'm not doing enough cardio. And so she got frustrated and she said, okay, I'm going to increase the amount of cardio that I do. So she started to do cardio instead of 5 days. She started doing 7 days a week. She even managed to do cardio sessions twice a day some weeks. Imagine how many hours of cardio that is. What she did not realize is that she was actually accidentally, unintentionally slowing down her metabolism, and she was jacking up her hormones. To help her lose that 134 pounds and shed the belly, what we did is we actually pulled way back and eliminated all of that cardio and introduced a strength training regimen into her workout regimen every single week. And listen, just 3 days a week of 30 minutes of resistance training, dumbbells and resistance bands at home. That's what she did to lose 134 pounds. So make a note of this. No gym membership needed. You just heard me say. It was just home workouts 3 days a week for 30 minutes. No gym membership, okay? No long workouts, unlike what most women are out here doing and what they think. We took all that cardio and all those hours of working out away, and we replaced it with what? 3 days of 30-minute long workouts at home with dumbbells and resistance bands. So you don't need a gym membership. You don't need fancy gym equipment. All you need is dumbbells and a resistance band. Okay? Talk about convenience. And no, you don't need hour-long workouts either, because 30 minutes is more than enough as long as the strategy and intention of that workout and how it's built out is making sense and is going to be effective, right? No expensive equipment, no gym membership needed. It doesn't have to be long whatsoever. And let me show you Shernay now. 134 pounds later. And 134 pounds is like a mind-blowing number. But what's more mind-blowing than anything is her confidence. She is glowing. And let me tell you something about Shernay. Part of why this weight loss journey was so important for her is because she was dying to and had this burning desire to launch her own coaching business. She had this vision of just being that passionate life coach, empowering other women on their journeys. And when she first came to me, she was shy, she was self-conscious, she was hiding. And she kept telling me, I have this big vision. I have this big vision. But that vision would require for me to be in the public eye. It would require for me to take pictures, to have photo shoots, to have a website, to do live trainings, all these things that I do not feel comfortable doing now because of the skin that I'm in. And that's a real thing. That's a real thing, no shade. If you don't feel comfortable in your skin and you don't feel confident, and guess what? You're not going to show up in a confident way. And it's going to hold you back and limit you from the millions of things that you may envision and want to do and have the desire to do. 134 pounds, her confidence is through the roof. And yes, if you'd like to know, she has successfully launched her coaching business. And she's all over the social media, doing live streams and videos and photo shoots and her website and her branding. And it's all on point. Why? Because she was able to lose that weight that was holding her back from her mission. Is that not incredible? That is incredible, right? And that's what weight loss does for women. And I'm sure all of you watching this here today, you're like, at some point on this journey, right? You have found yourself trying things that either had you working on your fitness component or had you focusing and working on your nutrition, right? But somehow looking back, or maybe this is you right now, you realize that it's always only just a matter of time before something happens, something gets in the way, and then you fall all the way back off and you're right back at square one. Like, ever feel like that? Ever feel like, man, it doesn't matter if I do Octavia, Weight Watchers, Beachbody on Demand, Insanity, Taibo, I mean, like, whatever's out here, right? 21-day fix, JJ smoothie cleanse. No matter what I do, it seems like I always find myself falling off. It's just a matter of time. And when I fall off, I'm regaining everything plus a generous 5, 10 pounds on top of that, right? Sound familiar? Yeah. And it's that repetitive cycle of you're going strong, you're being very dedicated, you're consistent, you're committed, you're doing all the right things at all the right times, right? But something happens, and guess what? You're back at the drive-thru at Taco Bell eating junk. You're back at McDonald's. You're back eating pints of ice cream late at night and snacking on the couch and missing all your workouts. It's like something always leads you back to square one, and then you throw yourself all the way off. If that is you, you're absolutely going to love what we're about to talk about next. Because this was exactly the vicious cycle that my client Cassie found herself in over and over and over again. She would exercise consistently. She would stay on track with her nutrition. She would track her calories, do this, do that, no matter what she was doing. But then she'd fall off and she'd gain all the weight back plus some every single time. And she got so tired of doing this, so tired of repeating this cycle over and over again. And she said to me, Coach, something's got to change because I literally feel like I'm driving myself nuts and insane on a damn hamster wheel, and I'm never getting off the hamster wheel. So her request when she came to me was, help me get off the hamster wheel. Because every single time she'd fall off, the guilt would kick in. She'd feel even more like a failure every single time she fell off and started over. And then she started telling herself, maybe she's just doomed. Maybe I'm just doomed, and maybe I'm never going to feel good again. Maybe I just don't deserve to feel good in my body again. And those were some of the thoughts that Cassie just started to kind of entertain because the pattern was failure after failure after failure after failure on the hamster wheel. And as I'm describing Cassie's journey, I'm curious, and I'm going to encourage you to think about this. But in your journey and on your path on this journey, what have you noticed has a tendency to throw you off? What have you noticed typically throws you off? And that can be, maybe it's an argument with your significant other. Maybe it's the kids, stress with the kids, and then practice and a deadline that you're not meeting and you're overwhelmed and so much is going on. That could be it. Maybe that's what throws you off. Or maybe it's when you get sick, stomach virus, the flu, COVID, whatever. And then when it's time to get back on track, you're like, ugh, interrupted, and now you're falling all the way off. But think about like what are the types of events? What usually happens when you get thrown off? Think about that. And the reason why I'm challenging you to do this is because this is really going to help you understand what your patterns are moving forward so that you can also better interrupt them and stop repeating them, because that's kind of why we're here, right? So you're definitely going to want to write this next part down, because this is exactly how I helped Cassie exit the hamster wheel once and for all. So this is a powerful, really incredibly simple. I can't deny that, but I love simplicity. This is such a simple strategy, but it is incredibly powerful and has the power to change everything. Inside of the triple shift system, we call it the 10-minute pause. And basically, when those cravings are hitting you, right, there's an emotional trigger. And then in response to that emotional trigger, you have cravings. You're experiencing strong cravings for junk. even though you've been doing good, you've been sticking with your diet, you've been doing this, you've been doing all the things. This is how we're going to interrupt that cycle and get you off the hamster wheel. That's why it's so important that you write this down. You're going to take a 10-minute pause. So you're literally going to pull out your phone as soon as you are being emotionally triggered, whether it's stress, boredom, overwhelm, sadness, whether it's even, oh my God, I did so great, I need to reward myself with 15 cupcakes, whatever your trigger is. You're going to pull out your phone immediately and you're going to set a 10-minute timer. You're going to set a 10-minute timer on your phone. So let's say that like you're a busy working mom and it's been a long day filled with back-to-back Zoom meetings and phone calls, and your boss has been an absolute butthole in a bad mood. On top of that, there's a last-minute deadline that got added, and then your boss comes in and at like 4:55 wants something from you. But you also have to pick up kids, take them to practice, and do all the other things. You haven't cleaned, you haven't cooked. And you're like, oh my God, I am running on E. And you get in your car and you're rushing and you're stressed. And the only thing that you can think about is grabbing a family size bag of classic Lay's, okay? Or stopping at Starbucks and get one of those venti frappuccinos that are like 700 calories and 70 grams of sugar in them. Insane, right? But instead of automatically turning to food, now moving forward, you're going to automatically pull out your phone and set the 10-minute timer instead. Okay. And let me show you and walk you deeper through the steps of what this is going to look like. So during those 10 minutes, within that 10-minute pause, it's going to help you reset your nervous system, right? And your mindset. During that pause, what can you do to reset? Take deep breaths, do some breath work, a quick meditation. If you are religious, which is really great too, that could work. I'm thinking about some of my Christian clients, what they do is they play some gospel music, listen to a sermon for 10 minutes. What I love to do, just so you know, is listen to an uplifting, motivational, inspirational podcast or YouTube video for 10 minutes. Maybe you pick up a book that you really love and read a book for 10 minutes, or you go for a quick walk. I mean, there's a million things that we can insert here that you would be doing during that 10-minute pause intentionally to reset yourself. This time that you utilize during those 10 minutes, it's intentional time to go back within and reflect on how you really have been feeling. And this is the time where you ask yourself, what is really going on with me right now? Am I stressed or am I hungry? Am I angry or am I hungry? Am I sad or am I hungry? Am I bored or am I hungry? Or whatever other emotion typically triggers you. Why is this so powerful, you ask? Because it takes you out of reactive mode, like you're not reacting, okay? And it allows you to step back and take back control. Because how many of you feel every single time this cycle reoccurs like you are not in control? Like food has control over you, your choices and decisions. And you are a victim of what is happening. Your emotions are controlling you, food is controlling you, and guess what? That's a terrible feeling, isn't it? Like you're constantly out of control. But now, when you do this during those 10 minutes and you ask yourself these questions, you start to see clearly. It's like this cloud is lifted and you start to see clearly that you have a choice between staying on track or not staying on track. Whereas before, because you go straight into reactive mode, you didn't even see that there was a choice. You're just reacting to the trigger, thinking there's nothing else I can do. Boom, the emotion happens. I got to react. I got to stuff food down my throat, right? This is exactly why the third pillar inside of my triple shift system is crucial and is the biggest piece of the pie. Because when the mindset has been properly addressed and dialed in, you can start to make a conscious decision. You can start breaking the habit of emotional eating, which, by the way, approximately 80% of women are emotional eaters. And ultimately, what that means is that this allows you to become empowered or empower yourself to stay on track with your goals and your journey forever. And Cassie, my client Cassie, to bring it back to her, started doing this 10-minute pause every single day. And I'll be honest with you, but at the beginning, Cassie was doing a 10-minute pause all the time, several times a day, okay? And no shade, no judgment. Because when I learned this and I started to implementing it, I was doing it several times a day too, right? But it was a real game changer for Cassie because it started to give her the space to realize that there's so many other ways to handle the stress in her life. There's so many other ways of responding to it. And it literally stops that runaway mindset, allowing Cassie to make better decisions and stay on track, even when she's stressed, even when something's happening with the kids, even when she gets into an argument, even if there's a bill she's worried about. And Cassie is now down 30 pounds and lost her belly. And she feels absolutely freaking amazing. And you know what's funny? But she literally recently sent me a picture of her in a bikini at the beach. She took some trip to, I believe it was Jamaica. And when she sent me that picture, what she said is that she couldn't believe, she just cannot believe that she's back in a two-piece. And even more so, couldn't believe how confident she's feeling in the two-piece. Because I mean, we can all throw on a two-piece, but feeling confident and good in a two-piece, oh my God, that's on another level, right? This is why the triple shift system is so effective, because all three key pillars are being addressed cohesively, simultaneously. So you see how in the past you've focused extremely on the nutrition or extremely on the fitness component, but this bridges the gap and adds the most important component, which is your mindset, right? And that leads to results such as my client Jennifer, who lost her stubborn belly and 25 pounds within 90 days, okay? And just so you know, busy career mom, working a full-time job, devoted wife, and mother of two, okay? So not somebody that has like all kinds of time to twiddle their thumbs. And then we got Marissa over here. She lost 8 inches of stubborn belly fat and 28 pounds, y'all, in 90 days. And let me give you some context. Single mom in a senior management position. So imagine the load and the stress, okay? And mom of twins. So single mom of twins and in a managerial director type of position. So a lot of stress and long working hours. And this is her now. And she's got way more energy for twins. She's got way more confidence. And y'all know how I talked about Shernay, how Shernay, the confidence and all of that allow her to feel more empowered and like she could show up and build and launch her coaching business and be seen. And it's interesting because Marissa turned her weight loss journey and the empowerment and the confidence that she's gotten through this into her own movement, teaching moms how to prioritize themselves and put their needs first. She got a whole movement now that she's created on Instagram, and it's incredible to see that. But Marissa wouldn't have been able to do that had she not first prioritized herself, invested in herself, done the work that she needed to do on her mindset, nutrition, and fitness in order to get these results, and then turn around and say, oh my gosh, I want to help other moms, right? Or we got Billy, my amazing client Billy. Oh my goodness, I love Billy, who was literally, when she came to me in the middle of freaking menopause, and like so many women, thought that it was hopeless because of her hormonal changes and imbalances, right? Most of us think that, oh, perimenopause, menopause, it's hell, can't lose weight. False. And she was struggling with her cholesterol. Those were like the two big issues. Like cholesterol was a huge concern for her, and then the weight and the belly. She lost 30 pounds and finally got off of her cholesterol medications, and she was on several actually, and was very concerned about that. But she lost 30 pounds, got off of cholesterol meds, and shrunk significantly lost a lot of stubborn belly fat in terms of inches. And Billy is actually still with me. And she's lost more weight and she's shrunk more and she's toned more ever since. But this was like the beginning of working with Billy. So you see that this is really the game changer, right? And oh my God, my goodness, we've covered a lot so far, right? You would agree with that. And I hope that this is incredibly valuable and transformative and insightful information for you. And now would be a good time for you to also think about what spoke to me the most here, or what resonated the most or triggered me the most here, because that's going to be an indication of what is it that you've been missing in your regimen, what needs to be worked on the most moving forward. And for some of you watching this, it might be all three areas. You're like, oh my gosh, I'm all over the place with nutrition, all over the place with mindset, and with fitness, right? But this was a small introduction, small yet powerful introduction to the triple shift system. And in that, you discovered really straightforward, simplistic, powerful, what's the word? I just lost the word. Straightforward is good. Strategies that, while simple, deliver incredible results over time. So in the first pillar, you discovered that you no longer have to restrict your foods, right? You don't have to eliminate the things that you love in order to reach your goals, but that instead it's about focusing on what do I need to add, what am I missing, and getting creative with how do I fill those cracks and gaps with the right things, right? You know what that means for you? That means that you get to enjoy food freedom in your life. That's what that means. And that is so powerful. Changes the game in terms of quality of life. And then, of course, in the second pillar of the triple shift system, we talked all about the fitness component, where you discovered that actually more is actually less. I know it sounds counterintuitive, but that's what it is. So now you don't have to feel guilty for not spending hours on a treadmill. And you can actually take those 2 to 3 hours, those extra 2 to 3 hours that you've been spending every single week on that treadmill or whatever else cardio you've been doing, take that time back and take it back and allocate it to other things that need that attention. Maybe it's you've been dying to take one nap every single week, but you feel like you don't have time. I'm sorry, but if you're taking those 2 to 3 hours back, you got time to take that nap, right? Maybe it's I haven't had any time to read stories to my kids and I want to be able to read books with them, but I just haven't had time, blah, blah, blah. Take these hours that you've been wasting on cardio, take them back, reallocate them to what? To you spending quality, intentional time reading books to your kids. Incredible, right? And then the third pillar, last but certainly not least, that we covered today was all about mindset, right? And when you have that mindset dialed in, when you know how to use those simple strategies, there are more strategies inside of my program, but the one that I share with you is the 10-minute pause, right? When you start to embrace and use and apply those simple strategies in your everyday life, when you're recognizing that your mindset is starting to create the self-sabotage cycle again, and you know how to interrupt that. You know how to reframe your internal dialogue to be successful. All of those things, right? That is what makes consistency easy. That's what helps you stay motivated for the long term and ultimately get better results. And then what happens is you no longer fall off, right? You no longer fall off. How amazing is that? So we're going to do a quick little exercise here. I want you to close your eyes and I want you to take a deep belly breath. Deep belly breath. And I want you to imagine yourself 6 months from today. Okay? Close your eyes, breathe, and imagine yourself 6 months from today. Don't cheat. You've dialed in your nutrition. You're no longer deprived. You see yourself eating the foods that you love. No guilt, no fear, none of that involved. You're now at a point where you can't wait to do your 30-minute strength workouts in the comfort of your own home. Because guess what? You know what to do, and you've been toning nicely. You are so clear. You're so focused. You've even been able to push past some challenges that you experience because, right, life is full of challenges. you encountered, life events, change of life events that you weren't prepared for, but your commitment has been so rock solid that you're on track no matter what. You've now lost 30, 40 pounds. Your belly is gone, baby. And you have so much energy that people around you are like, are you okay? What's going on with you? What happened? And even your doctor is asking, what are you doing? What you been doing? Because your numbers are improving and the weight is coming down significantly and your doctor's impressed. You look in the mirror and you're proudly zipping up your jeans with ease because guess what? There's no more belly in the way. You're feeling confident naked. Oh my gosh, you're feeling confident naked. You're feeling yourself, girl. You're going on trips, eager to put on cute bathing suits. That is you 6 months from today. It is possible for you. Yes, I'm pointing my finger at you. It is possible for you. How would that feel to be that confident you? What difference would that make in your life? If you would be living your life more confidently, how would you show up fully? What would you be doing that you're currently not able to do? Would you finally book that trip to Jamaica that you've been wanting to go on, but you haven't felt confident, or, you don't want to get on a plane right now because you're going to need a seatbelt extension and that's uncomfortable to you? What would you be doing? Would you be finally fully energized without 5 cups of coffee, B12 shots, Monsters, and Red Bulls? And so you'd be outside playing with your kids. Maybe when you close your eyes, you're seeing yourself playing with your kids outside and not getting out of breath after 5 steps. Would you be excited to maybe go clothes shopping again? Because now you're back in a size 8 clothes, and guess what? You don't have to go to Lane Bryant for a size 8. Forever 21, Zara, H&M, Gucci, Macy's. I mean, you can go whatever you want. There's unlimited. There's no barriers, no restrictions when you can wear a size 8. But here is the harsh reality, my dear. The reality right now is that you are here now, in this seat now. And them jeans, they don't fit because the belly is in the way. You're avoiding the mirrors because you hate the reflection that you see. You're feeling your health declining because you get winded after a couple of steps. Your energy is not what it used to be. You're aching, your joints are aching. You feel stiff, right? You're sluggish all the time. You avoid your doctor and doctor's appointments because you've been breaking one promise to yourself after another. You still haven't made sustainable lifestyle changes. And so you already know that the news is going to be bad when you go back to the doctor. And now you can't even keep up with your kids. And so here, watching this today, you got some solid information and ideas and strategies that you can run with and apply to your journey. But let's be honest for 1 second here. If nothing changes, nothing, all caps, changes. Let me say it again. If nothing changes, nothing changes. And there's a quote that I absolutely love by Jim Rohn. Your life does not get better by chance. It gets better by change. Write that down. Your life does not get better by chance. It gets better by change. Oof, that ain't powerful right there. So, on that note, I want to introduce you to my incredibly special signature coaching program. It's called the Body Project. And inside of the Body Project, boop, 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 love it. I'm excited to share this piece with you. We use the triple shift system that I just introduced you to help our clients lose an average of 30 pounds or more, reclaim their energy and confidence, shed the belly, and improve their, let me show the screen, and improve their health. In just 4 months, most of our clients inside the Baggy Body Project lose at least 30 pounds, reclaim their energy and get their confidence back, shed their belly, and significantly improve their health. So most of our clients, when I say that, are able to reverse their prediabetes, reverse high cholesterol, and reverse their hypertension and get off of medications within that time frame. So incredible transformations and results. Once inside of the Baggy Body Project, we take you strategically through each of the pillars that I talked about inside the triple shift system, okay? And let me show you exactly what that would look like so you have an idea of how that would apply to you specifically. But to support your nutritional changes in pillar number 1, right, here it's going to be all about the customization. Like, think about this. But how many times before have you signed up for a nutrition program or you work with a personal trainer and whatever nutritional advice you got was cookie cutter, generic, one size fits all? Here's one sheet. This is what you can eat. This is what you cannot eat. And they had you eating oatmeal when you don't even like oatmeal. They forced you to eat yogurt and told you, well, it's healthy for you, and you don't even like yogurt. Like, I talk to women all the time who are like, I was forcing myself to eat cabbage and eggs and yogurt and oatmeal, but I hate all those things. And I'm like, what? You don't need to eat the things that you don't like. And you also don't keep repeating the same thing when you get bored all the time. That doesn't work. So instead, inside the Baggy Body Project, you're not getting another one of those cookie cutter, one size fits all, boring diet plans. This approach is radically and totally different because you're going to get a fully customized nutrition program every step of the way for those 4 months. Okay? And I'm talking about no more separate dinners, right? Or missing out on life or anything like that, because it's going to be so customized and so dialed in that we're even going to take into account not only what you love to eat, but what are like staple dinners that you cook in your household. And I always think about Valencia when I talk about this, because my client Valencia, when she first started with me, she was like, I'm burning myself out because I've been cooking separate dinners. And I asked her, why are you cooking separate dinners? Well, because my husband is a good old country boy from Georgia, and he wants them fried pork chop and the cornbread and this and that, whatever, every single night. And I can't eat that if I want to lose weight. And I was like, Valencia, I'm going to show you something different, because now that I know that these are the staple meals in your household, continue cooking the staple meals in your household, and you and I are just going to focus on what we're adding to your plate on top of what you and your husband want to eat. That's the way you achieve success. So for the pillar number 1, nutrition side, the Baggy Body Project, you get 100% customized meal plans with matching recipes, matching grocery lists. And it's all based on your personalized food intake goals. Game changer. Just like my client Maria here, who ended up losing 25 pounds. And she always says it was thanks to especially the nutritional coaching piece, because she would find herself roaming the grocery stores aimlessly, wasting money, buying all these healthy things, and then coming home and letting it spoil and go bad because she didn't know what to do with any of it. Didn't have a plan, didn't have a blueprint, didn't have a list, no strategy behind it. And so she managed to lose 25 pounds within the first 90 days because we started sending her to the grocery store every single week with a strategy, with a plan in place that worked for her, her husband, and her 2 kids. So then inside the Baggy Body Project, of course, we're going to be addressing pillar number 2, which is all about the fitness. We don't believe in anything cookie cutter inside the Baggy Body Project. That's bull crap. The one size fits all model, it's outdated, and it explains why so many women don't get results, lose motivation, end up injured, right? And then fall completely off. And here, instead, you'll be able to complete all of your workouts from the comfort of your home, or you can choose a gym program if you want to. But most of my clients, they just want to do at home because of the convenience of it. The workouts are going to be fully designed and created for you specifically. So let's say you got knee problems, back problems, We even got clients who are wheelchair bound, by the way. Maybe you can't do hard impact. You had a knee replacement, hip replacement, you name it. Every single client inside the Baggy Body Project has some form of physical limitation, and we work around that and design a program that makes sense based on that, right? And by the way, especially if you're finding yourself dealing with arthritis, aches and pains, joint issues, old injuries, or anything like that, the most important thing that you actually want to work on and need to be doing is strength training. So we will be building that strength training regimen for you, but in a way that's going to make sense based on your limitations and in whatever equipment or no equipment that you have access to. But for most clients, it's just dumbbells and resistance bands. So you're going to have a customized workout plan. It's going to be all delivered inside of my app. So you're always going to have me walking you through everything step by step inside of the app. And then for a lot of my clients who have an Apple Watch or a Fitbit or something along those lines, they really love the fact that they can connect and sync it with the app. That helps also for greater accountability, because they know that their numbers are showing on my end, on my phone, every single day. I see all the stats. And it's so funny because literally Cher, this is my client Cher right here, but Cher will complete a workout and it'll be ding, ding, Cher just completed her Tuesday workout. And then I can see how long did it take her? What time did she do it? Or what time did she start it? How many calories did she burn? What was her peak average heart rate? All of that. It's amazing. Now, we have some clients who do not have any of those devices. Some people don't believe in that stuff, don't want to wear those devices. And I have some federal employees who work long hours in buildings where those types of devices are restricted. So they don't see a point in doing that. But this is my client Cher. And she lost 70 pounds in less than 9 months inside the Baggy Body Project. And the reason why I want to really highlight and shout out Cher is because this was the big game changer for Cher. Because before she came to me, she was burning herself out, doing all kinds of long workouts, had no strategy behind it. Sometimes she'd go to the gym and do a bunch of cardio. Sometimes she'd just do a bunch of cardio at home. She knew that she had to do strength training, but she didn't know where to start. She didn't know what to do. She didn't know proper form. She didn't know the proper lineup of exercises. And so she was kind of lost. And Cher, now she's been with me. This is the second year of coaching her, actually, because she's got more goals. So she's lost more weight since then, since these pictures. But Cher does literally 29, 28-minute long workouts in the comfort of her living room after work, only dumbbells and resistance bands. That's it. To this day, that is it. That's all she does. And then, of course, inside of the Baggy Body Project, we also address the mindset. I told you it's the biggest piece of the pie, right? And with the mindset, which is incredibly valuable, you don't get this in any other weight loss coaching programs. It's literally going to be so dialed in, so customized and personalized. You're going to have a one-on-one mindset call with me when you first get started with the program. That's going to help me clearly identify the major 2, maybe the 3 most prominent mindset hurdles, blocks, and obstacles that you've been dealing with. And get this, a lot of times you don't even know that these are your blocks and obstacles. So I step in and identify basically those blind spots for you. And that's been incredibly powerful with every single client. So some clients are like, yeah, I'm an emotional eater. That's my only issue. But then we get on that 60-minute mindset call. And just because I'm asking the right questions and evaluating things from my angle, I often pick up on other direct mindset blocks that explain why you found yourself in this repetitive cycle over time. You'll get a customized mindset roadmap from that call. So from that call, I literally break down one-on-one what is this on this roadmap, step by step, the things that we need to be working on, you need to be working on your end in order to overcome those blocks, right? So it's amazing. And then on top of that, you're going to get access to the weekly group mindset coaching call inside of our VIP community. And then last but certainly not least, let's talk about the support. You may be thinking, well, I don't know if I can follow through and do this because maybe you've fallen off so many programs in the past. You've done personal trainers and Weight Watchers, and you've fallen off every single time. I want to, hear that what makes the Baggy Body Project so unique is that you're going to get daily support, okay? Plus one-on-one monthly call to check in and hold you accountable and come up with strategies and support you. Literally every single day you get check-ins. Coaching is delivered to you via voice notes and written messages inside of the app. And Monday through Friday, no matter what you got going on, you just send a message or a voice note inside of the app, and I come to the rescue. So it's a very hands-on coaching approach, not a here's a workout and a meal plan, talk to you in 2 months. No, this is a hands-on approach to coaching. And if you're wondering why my clients are getting such amazing results, it's because for the first time in their lives, they have their own personal cheerleader, support system, accountability buddy, checks and balances system, all of it in one. There is literally no way to fail. This is a no-fail method all the way around, right? And most of the women that leave the Baggy Body Project, or when they get inside the Baggy Body Project, I should say, they're always so amazed at the VIP group, that's our client-only community, at the amount of genuine accountability and support. And they're always amazed at how much time they get with me, how much I'm giving them, and how present I am for them. And I'll be honest with you, but it's a matter of passion. I don't get fulfilled and I don't experience fulfillment unless I know that my clients are properly served, they're good to go, they're doing amazingly well, they're following strategies that work for them, etc. And when I was on my weight loss journey, that is what I needed and did not have. So it's very important to me that all clients get this type of attention and love. Let me be clear though. This is for you if you're serious about your transformation and you believe that you deserve to feel good. Because if you don't even believe that you deserve to feel good, that's not going to work for you. This is exactly for you if you're tired of the cookie cutter BS, the one size fits all, and you're tired of constantly regaining the weight back and you want to interrupt that cycle and break it once and for all, right? This is for you if you're tired of putting your happiness on the back burner and you have declared loudly that now is the time to put yourself first. If you're done playing small and putting yourself last, this is for you, right? This is not for you, however, if you rather make excuses and be lazy, then that's not for you, okay? Let's just be real here. It's not for you if you're out here looking for a magic pill or some kind of short-term solution that's not really going to require you to do like deep work that transforms your life forever. Make sense? Then this is not for you. And last but certainly not least, if this is not for you at all, if you're not willing to put yourself first and invest the time, the energy, and the money to transform your life, because yes, it requires all of that, right? So as you've been watching this and you're like, oh my gosh, I got to get inside the Baggy Body Project. Please, please, please let me know how to get in there. I got your back. If you're seeing this via email, you're catching the replay, then you're also going to see a link where you'll be able to go ahead and schedule your consultation call with me. The reason why you would need to first schedule a consultation call is because, as you see, so much goes into each customized program to make sure that the results are guaranteed. However, we want to make sure then that we're investing that time, that love, and that care into the right candidate as well, into the right client. It needs to be a good fit for us. It needs to be a good fit for you. That's why that consultation call is absolutely imperative, to make sure that we dive into your goals, your needs, etc. And have no fear. If we get on the call and for whatever crazy reason we determine that it's not a good fit, you will walk away feeling better, having next steps lined out, and having resources that will help you take your results to the next level. I never let somebody get off a call and not have something in place for them to be successful either way, right? So either way, it's a win-win situation. The other thing I wanted to add here is that if you're scheduling your call after you've watched this training, you will benefit from two incredible bonuses that we've added in there. Bonus number one is the emotional eating vault. Imagine if you're having long, stressful days and you end up eating late at night, and then you're like, oh, ice cream, Oreos, and all this other stuff. You got crumbs everywhere. You wake up in the morning, you're like, oh, I did it again. Oh no, why do I keep doing this? Every night, stressed out, emotional, depressed. You're head deep in the pantry looking for the pretzels. Imagine that cycle ending and you freeing yourself from that permanently, right? Meaning that you learn through the emotional eating vault and all the trainings and strategies and tools that I have packed in there, exactly how to continue losing weight and navigating your journey successfully, even when you're emotional, even when you're angry, even when you're stressed, bored, overwhelmed, and inserting healthy coping mechanisms instead. That's powerful, right? Now, how many of you watching this, you ever find yourself in a drive-through lane several times per week because it's between soccer practice, soccer games, late games, right? Maybe one child has to go to cheer and the other one to marching band. And then you're like, oh my God, my head is about to explode. It's late. I'm hungry. I'm starving. I don't know what I should be eating. Oh my God. And what do? Convenience. You go for the convenience factor. And you get yourself derailed every single time because you keep doing that every single week, right? Now imagine you have the eating out guide, which is bonus number 2. And the eating out guide makes it so simple and self-explanatory for you. Sorry, I'm holding this, you see this little puppy? If you're wondering what is moving, it's this little puppy right here. But imagine having the eating out guide in front of you. And you never have to wonder, what should I be doing? What should I be eating when I'm in a pinch? What should I be eating when I'm on a road trip? How do I navigate airport options to keep myself on track? The reality is that you can lose weight and crush all your goals, even by traveling, even if it's for work or leisure, whatever, even when you're eating out. But it's a matter of knowing how to properly navigate those menus and those options, right? So, ladies, this is the Body Project, the absolute no-fail method, where you're getting nutrition coaching from A to Z, 100% customized, where your fitness coaching is 100% dialed in and made for you, where your mindset coaching is dialed in for you specifically, and you got the support every day of the week like you've never experienced before, with the one-on-one check-in calls, the trainings inside of the live calls inside the VIP community, the sisterhood that you experience in there, and then the check-ins with me one-on-one throughout the week. And you hear from me and get feedback from me through voice note coaching or comments on completed workouts or completed food logs every day of the week. The support is absolutely unmatched. On top of that, if you decide to join the Body Project now at this time, you also unlock the emotional eating vault, which means that you will never find yourself being controlled by your emotions nor by food ever again. You'll experience food freedom and you'll have healthier coping mechanisms in place, because you're going to be stressed, emotional, depressed, sad, happy, excited for the rest of your life. If you do not learn now how to properly address those things and cope differently, you will always find yourself back at square one plus another 5-10 pounds on top. That's the reality. And then the eating out guide, which will help you literally take back control so that you're no longer stressed, you're no longer wondering what should I eat, worried about gaining the pounds back just because you're traveling for work or with your family for fun or a spring break, or several nights a week you've got to eat out because it's just so stressful with the kids, practice, and everything else, right? So those are the two bonuses, and you definitely do not want to miss out on those because they're game changers. So before I let you go, thank you so much for being here today and for watching this. It's definitely an honor to be able to put this out into the world and serve you. If you have any questions, let me just give you a reminder. You can either reply to this via email if you got it in an email. You can also just send me a question, send me a message in my DMs on Instagram or on Facebook at Anna J Fit. Continue to push after your goals. Don't let anyone, and I do mean anyone, stand in the way of the next version of you, the next level version of you that you've been dreaming about and envisioning. You know, when I told you to close your eyes and do that 6-month, the visualization 6 months from now, yeah, that version right there. And remember that you deserve to live in the body of your dreams. I brought Jim Rohn's quote back on the screen, the one that I talked about earlier, but write it down and remember this and live by this. Your life does not get better by chance. It gets better by change. All right. I'll talk to you soon, and I hope to see you inside the Body Project. Bye.